The soft early summer sunlight fell across the Morrison family garden, painting the trimmed hedges and rose bushes with a golden glow. Their traditional colonial-style house, standing proudly in Cambridge's most prestigious neighborhood, seemed almost too perfect, too serene. But Caroline Morrison knew better. Behind those elegant white columns and polished windows lingered an air of constant judgment and subtle rivalry. She slowed her brand-new BMW 7 Series as it curved into the familiar driveway. For a moment, she lingered, her fingers resting on the steering wheel, her heart caught between irritation and duty. In the reflection of the rearview mirror, her navy dress hugged her frame with precision. She tilted her chin slightly, ensuring her lipstick hadn't smudged. Perfection was her armor. One deep breath. Weekend dinners here were never casual gatherings. They were rituals, ceremonies woven with family pride, veiled comparisons, and the endless unspoken question: who was living the life worthy of the Morrison name? Before Caroline even opened her door, the silence was broken by shrill, delighted voices. Aunt Caroline. Her nephew Ryan and niece Sophia sprinted across the garden path, their laughter ringing like bells. The tightness in her chest softened at their sight. Their innocence was untouched by the Morrison brand of quiet cruelty. Well, if it isn't my precious angels. Caroline stepped gracefully out of the car, kneeling slightly to embrace them. Such lovely smiles today. Did you miss me? Their eager nods made her smile genuine, if only for a fleeting moment. From across the lawn, her sister Taylor emerged, phone in hand, snapping photos of the manicured hydrangeas. She wore the latest Lululemon athletic wear as if it were couture, the phone tilted at just the right angle, capturing sunlight against her cheekbones. Caroline didn't even need to check. By evening, the picture would be captioned, "Perfect Sunday vibes." Taylor walked over, her footsteps deliberate, light. Her eyes swept over Caroline's fitted navy dress, and a faint smirk curved her lips. "This is just a family gathering, you know," she said softly, almost sweetly. "Why don't you try to relax a little?" Caroline's lips parted, but before she could retort, their mother's voice cut through from the entrance. "Oh, Caroline, I was wondering when you'd arrive. Work again?" That tone, always the same, layered with disapproval. At 35, unmarried, childless, and consumed by her career, Caroline was a constant reminder of what Diana Morrison considered failure. Inside, the scent of roast beef drifted from the dining room. Caroline found Brian, Taylor's husband, comfortably seated in the living room with the local paper. "Hey, Caroline," he greeted, lowering the newspaper slightly. "Another busy week, I take it?" Caroline smoothed her dress as she answered, "Well, yes, we've started a new project." "Oh, but you know," Taylor interjected, sliding onto the arm of Brian's chair as though choreographed. "I'm busy too. Sophia's ballet class, Ryan's soccer, plus I just became vice president of the PTA." "That's wonderful, Taylor." Their mother's face brightened instantly. "I'm so blessed to have a daughter who takes such good care of her family." Caroline's smile was perfectly polite, but inside, the words burned. She, who had closed multi-million-dollar deals just that month, who earned more annually than Brian and Taylor combined, received only silence. Success in this house was measured not in contracts or promotions, but in children's dance recitals and Instagram-worthy dinners. Father Greg's voice carried from the dining room, "Come on, everyone, let's sit at the table before the roast gets cold." They gathered around the long mahogany table, polished until it gleamed under the chandelier. Conversation flowed easily, school updates, neighborhood gossip, trivial matters dressed as importance. Caroline sat quietly, her fork gliding through the food without appetite. Under the table, her phone vibrated. A message from James. "How's the family meeting going? Shall we make up for it with a nice dinner tomorrow night?" Her lips curved into a small, secret smile. Soon, her life would change. A month from now, everything would look very different, but tonight was not the night to reveal it. "Caroline," her mother's sharp voice cut through her thoughts. "Don't you think it's time to consider things besides work? Like an arranged marriage, perhaps?" Taylor's laugh chimed in before she could answer. "Mom, leave her be. Sis is busy, after all. She's Boston's finest babysitter." Laughter circled the table, polite, restrained, but stinging. Caroline lifted her glass with practiced ease, her expression unshaken. Let them laugh. They had no idea what was coming. The evening passed in polished rituals, family photos under Taylor's direction, the clicking sound of her smartphone camera like the gavel of judgment. Caroline smiled when told, stood when prompted, and played her part perfectly. All the while, her mind remained on the small velvet box hidden in her home safe. Her engagement was a secret for now, a weapon she would unveil when the timing cut sharpest. The Caribbean cruise had ended. The Morrison family returned home sun-kissed, refreshed, and brimming with stories. Taylor, in her oversized sunglasses and flowing floral scarf, looked like a magazine spread as she stepped into the biting Boston wind. Brian pulled their suitcases behind him, half distracted with work emails, while Diana and Greg gushed about turquoise waters and endless buffets. Yet something lingered in the air, an unease Taylor couldn't name. At the curb outside Logan International, a sleek black luxury car waited. A uniformed driver stood at attention. "Are you the Morrison party?" he asked. "Yes," Diana replied, surprised. "But, who arranged this?" "This was arranged by Miss Caroline Morrison," the driver said smoothly, bowing his head. Taylor stiffened. Her grip tightened on her souvenir tote bag from Nassau. "Caroline?" she repeated under her breath. She hadn't expected her sister to meet them, or to arrange something so extravagant. The family slid into the plush leather seats. The car glided silently through the snowy streets of Boston, past familiar neighborhoods. Conversation was fragmented, Diana recalling the sunsets at sea, Greg talking about duty-free shopping, Brian muttering about catching up at the office. But Taylor kept glancing out the window. The route was unfamiliar. They weren't heading toward her home. "Brian," she whispered urgently, "this road, this isn't right." Brian looked up, frowned, then nodded slowly. This is the area where they've been building luxury high-rises." The car slowed before a glittering tower of glass and steel, the Sudbury, Boston's crown jewel of modern architecture. Its entrance sparkled with polished marble, golden lighting, and towering glass doors. The driver stepped out and opened their door. "Miss Caroline instructed that we stop here first," he said. Taylor's stomach twisted. Diana exchanged a look with Greg, both unsettled, but they followed the driver inside. Their shoes clicked across marble floors, the sound magnified by the high ceilings and chandelier glow. The concierge greeted them with a rehearsed smile. "Welcome, Morrison family. We've been expecting you." Taylor's breath caught. "Expecting us?" And then, there she was. Caroline stood in the elevator hall, wearing a deep sapphire dress that shimmered under the lobby lights. Her posture was effortless, her presence commanding. She looked every bit the woman Taylor never admitted she envied. "Welcome back," Caroline said, her voice smooth, composed. "The children are waiting upstairs." Taylor's blood ran cold. "The children?" she echoed. The elevator ride felt like an eternity, the silence inside more deafening than any words. When the doors finally opened to the penthouse floor, the air itself seemed charged. And then came the sound. Mom, Dad, Grandma, Grandpa. Ryan and Sophia rushed forward, their little feet pattering across polished hardwood floors. They were laughing, glowing with excitement, wearing swimsuits. Their hair was damp, their cheeks flushed from play. "My goodness," Diana gasped. "Why swimsuits?" "Look, Mom," Sophia squealed, pointing behind her. "Aunt Caroline has a castle." Taylor's eyes widened as her gaze shifted. An infinity pool stretched across the penthouse terrace, its glowing water blending seamlessly into the Boston skyline. Beyond the shimmering surface, the city's winter lights twinkled like jewels, and far off in the distance, Taylor's own house looked like nothing more than a speck, a dim shadow against Caroline's towering view. "This place is amazing," Ryan announced proudly. "We even helped decorate the giant Christmas tree." The family stepped into the living room, stunned into silence. A massive fir tree, nearly 4 meters tall, sparkled with gold ornaments and silver ribbons. Beneath its branches sat expensive, carefully wrapped gifts. Crystal chandeliers cast a warm glow over velvet furniture, imported rugs, and the grand piano gleaming in the corner. Greg found his voice first. "Caroline, surely not?" Caroline lifted a champagne flute, her smile calm, deliberate. Welcome to my new home. Please, make yourselves comfortable. Tonight, we celebrate. The private elevator chimed again. The doors opened. A tall man in a tailored suit stepped out. His presence filled the room, charismatic, confident, every detail immaculate. Uncle James. The children shouted joyfully, running to him. Taylor froze, her mouth parting. Uncle. Caroline stepped forward, her hand sliding easily into his. Everyone, allow me to introduce James Hamilton, CEO of one of Silicon Valley's largest tech firms, and, her smile sharpened, my fiancé. The room stilled. Fiancé? Diana whispered, clutching Greg's arm. Taylor nearly stumbled. Since when? Oh, since before the holidays, Caroline said lightly, as though announcing the weather. The wedding is next month. Of course, you'll all receive invitations. The children have been helping me keep it a secret these past 2 weeks. Sophia's grin was radiant. We kept the secret so good. Aunt Caroline. Caroline bent down, pressing a kiss to her niece's forehead. Yes, you did, my darling. And as promised, you may swim as much as you like tonight. The children cheered and ran back toward the pool, splashing water that sparkled like liquid diamonds under the penthouse lights. Taylor could only stare, her chest tightening with every second. Caroline turned to her slowly. Taylor, would you like me to show you the best view of your house? It's breathtaking from here, though I must admit, from this height, it looks very small. Her words cut like glass wrapped in silk. Then, softly, to the whole family, the babysitting job was very educational. It reminded me of the importance of family and of secrets. Taylor's knees threatened to give way. Diana's eyes filled with tears. Caroline, she choked. We misjudged you. Caroline's smile softened, though her eyes gleamed with fire. She gently held her mother's trembling hand. Don't worry about the past, Mom. From now on, let's build something real, as equals. Behind her, James popped the cork on a bottle of Dom Perignon 2008. The golden fizz rose in crystal flutes. Caroline raised her glass, the city lights shimmering in her eyes. To family, she said, to new beginnings. The family clinked glasses, their reflections glowing in the windows of the penthouse. Outside, Boston sparkled under the winter sky, and in that moment, Caroline Morrison had rewritten the story of her place in the family, forever.